Hi, it's Matt from Music Radar here. We're at NAMM 2025. I'm over at Digitizes booth. Digitize is a company doing some pretty incredible things with the violin, effectively transforming an acoustic violin into a MIDI controller. Alessandro, could you talk us through the product a little bit?
That's right, yeah. So what you see here is an acoustic violin, and we designed this special sensor fingerboard on top. It's a thin foil that tracks the position of the finger, and it allows you to control any synthesizer, virtual sound, make real-time notation, and you have all the 4 strings independently, so you can just control some cool sounds with your violin, playing completely without a bow. And but it's not only that, we actually put a motion sensor inside the module, so you can also use that for expression. And it also has 2 built-in microphones, like a pickup to take the envelope, and also an audio, a normal air microphone for the sound. And everything is packed and sent wireless to any device via Bluetooth MIDI. And yeah, it allows you to make music, write music, and yeah, much more.
Could you talk us through some ways that violinists could use this in like a performance setup, for instance?
Yeah, so we have had various artists playing with Digitaize in the last years, and I always love that everyone discovers the instrument for themselves in a totally different way. So what is cool about it is, first of all, that it allows you to separate the acoustic body, so what you play on the bow, from what you can trigger. So you have many cases where you have someone just playing some synths, and at the same time you can play some harmonics on the violin, not touching the sensor, and you can do a sort of very organic and round polyphony. So this is very cool. You can control beats and transform your violin in a loop station. So we have a setting where you can just assign any control change with particular notes, and you can just, start to record, play back a sample.
There's so much control in that because you're sending out pitch and velocity for each string,
yeah,
right?
We actually have around 10 different parameters that you can take either as MIDI channels or as control changes. It supports MPE, so you get all the flexibility. Yeah.
And could you give us a little bit of background to the company and how you came up with the idea initially?
Sure. So me and my colleague Rafal, we are both composer and a musician. So I I'm a flute player, and my co-founder is a viola player. And we were always interested in trying to find a better way to connect an acoustic instrument with electronics. We have been doing live electronics for years, where you have a microphone, you take the sound, and you make some processing on top of it. But in a way, it's a strange thing because it's so disconnected to your playing experience in the moment. There's just some random guy in the back that moves some faders, and something happens in the speaker. There's no real interaction. Yeah, there have been attempts, but it's not something that there is no solution. So what we did is we said, okay, let's try to find a better way to control everything with the instrument. And you bring every musical instrument brings a history, it brings a practice over years, and people are, you get a much deeper connection to a musical instrument that you learned for 20 years than you can on any plastic controller. The more expressive it can be, it's never gonna get near to what you can do. So we thought that there should be a better way to integrate that and make the musician in control of the sounds.
And you believe it has some sort of educational potential as well, right?
Yeah, of course, because learning the violin is really hard. If you need to learn the piano, you just sit, you press, and the sound production is already taken care of. But on the violin, you need to learn how to hold the bow, and then synchronize the bow with the hand movement is challenging. Where Digitize can help is to just split that and say, you can forget the bow for a while, and you can just get used to the feeling of the hands and learn, and you can make it, from the beginning, you can be more, you can give a bit more range of flexibility, and the more you go up, you can really narrow it down to the exact position, so you can learn and control sounds and get a feeling of how it is to play the violin very early. You get past this traumatic first step.
I imagine that can put people off, some people off in the
yeah,
early stages.
you make
right?
the learning curve a bit easier.
Yeah. And you're tracking the pitch in two different ways, right? It's audio, it's taking the audio and doing pitch to MIDI conversion, and there's also like 4 touch strips running down the
and
neck,
actually
correct?
this is the reason why it's much faster than other pitch to MIDI conversion, and also much more precise, because with our sensor it's a resistive technology. So as soon as we press the finger, we measure a value of resistance, and we just match it to the pitch, and this is extremely fast. And then what we do is we just make on top of it also pitch detection, also to take up the open strings, and then we send a clean MIDI signal to the computer or also iPad. We have 2 modes of connection actually. One is via Bluetooth, so you can connect it to any device that supports Bluetooth, so it's Bluetooth MIDI, BLE. And the other system is we have a special receiver with an antenna that gives you more range on stage, a more secure connection. It's more
reliable.
Stage, exactly. So it's more stage proof. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's take a listen to how it sounds. So
Yeah.
for context, you've got the violin hooked up to Ableton Live and
Exactly.
a Roland synth here.
Yeah, exactly. So Nick is gonna show us a bit.